They were telling all of us, of course, to tighten up. You know, money was very tight. There may be layoffs, you know, because of the money situation.
From cuts and layoffs to big raises, a WIS investigation into a Midlands hospital's finances uncovers some interesting details.
News 10's lead investigator digs for answers as your News at 5 starts right now.
Investigating the stories that matter to you. Live from Columbia in high definition. This is WIS News 10.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks a lot for being with us. I'm Dondi Mercer-Plank.
Glad to have you with us for WIS at 5. I'm Jody Gatson.
We begin tonight with this. In the last few weeks, there have been some major changes at KershawHealth. Earlier this year, the hospital's board replaced its chairman. Then 2 weeks ago, the hospital's CEO stepped down. This all happened amid a WIS investigation into spending inside Camden's hospital system.
Our lead investigative reporter, Jody Barr, opened our investigation into the hospital 4 months ago. That has led to a multiple-part investigative series. And Jody, you joined us now to start sharing with our viewers what you've learned.
Yeah, well, you know, this all started 4 years ago with massive layoffs and cuts at KershawHealth. We started looking when the hospital went to county council earlier this year asking for more than $1 million to bail out its ambulance service. What we've found since then, six-figure salaries, tens of thousands of dollars in bonuses for the top administrators, all while the hospital cut its staff. Nothing you can see in that personnel file is a reason why, other than a financial reason, the hospital decided that you had to go.
Yeah, that's all I can see that it would have been, because my performance evaluations were all very high.
Terry Bridges spent years nursing at KershawHealth. That's until she got a visit from KershawHealth's second in charge, Mike Bunch, in May 2011. Bunch told her the hospital was letting her go. When you got this news, how did you get it?
I was actually in the hospital working, and they came and took me out of a room to take me to another room to inform me that I didn't have a job anymore.
What did you think when you got that news?
I was devastated. Obviously, I'm a single person on my own, and they just came in that day and just let me go. You know, my only explanation was a reduction in the workforce.
Bridges was one of 20-some employees laid off that year. She says the hospital never told staff just how bad the finances were.
They were telling all of us, of course, to tighten up. You know, money was very tight. There may be layoffs, you know, because of the money situation, to watch lights and all the things, you know, that you would normally watch to cut down on expenses.
Bridges says she needed continuing education to keep her nursing license, something the hospital paid for to keep its staff certified. Her bosses, according to Bridges, told her the hospital couldn't afford the training anymore. To hear that you're working in a hospital field where technology changes by the day,
right,
in a lot of instances, but to hear that the hospital's no longer able to afford you all the training and updated on the new practices, did you realize at that point that there was probably some trouble in the pocketbook?
Oh, yeah, I did at that point, because I went to one of my superiors about it. You know, I need some more CMEs to keep my license up, and well, you're on your own. You know, I know you need them, but you're on your own.
Terry Bridges' mark is still on KershawHealth. The hospital's using a picture of her on this banner in a second-floor waiting room. When she lost her job in 2011, hospital personnel records show Bridges' boss, hospital administrator Donnie Weeks, made a base salary of $316,511. Just 7 months after laying Bridges off, Weeks got a $96,219 bonus check the day before Christmas. The man who fired Bridges, hospital vice president Mike Bunch, made $208,700 that year. 4 months before letting Terry Bridges go, Mike Bunch got a $20,000 pay raise. 6 months later, hospital records show Bunch got a $50,544 bonus. When you connect nonprofit with that, does this truly indicate nonprofit status in your mind?
No, sir. No, sir. It does not.
Kershaw Health Board member Daryl Ogburn is investigating the hospital's spending and how that impacted employee cuts and layoffs. He says he's hearing stories like Terry Bridges all the time. She didn't make very much money, she told me. It was a very modest income, but that same year, the CEO at Kershaw Health brought home a bonus of $96,219. Is there anything wrong with that?
Well, I can't justify it.
Now knowing what the administration at this hospital is making, how does that sit with you?
I'm really surprised that that's the case, that they would be that in such financial shape and still the top people in the hospital making that kind of money. If they're making the salaries they are and I was let go with the meager salary that I made. That's just a question I have, you know. I was working, I was a good worker. I don't understand why it impacted me and did not impact them.
Was this a job you would have gone back to?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I would have. But it's kind of hard to do that now, knowing what I know.
Well, Terry Bridges tells me she's still feeling the impacts of losing her job at Kershaw Health. She's now working in a hospital in the Florence area, but that is a little more than a 2-hour round trip every day.
Wow. And so as far as Donnie Weeks and Mike Bunch, have you asked them directly about these salaries and bonuses for some sort of explanation?
Yeah, we have. We went to some hospital officials, and they initially declined our interview request for this story, but we did end up talking to two of the people who are directly responsible for signing off on many of these bonuses, and we'll have that coming up at 6.
So when someone like Terry's let go, is it they walk out at that moment and the pay stops, or there's certainly some kind of severance package?
Well, in her case, she was paid for a little personal time off she had accrued up from January to May of that year. So she got that money, but after that, it's unemployment or find a new job.
Okay, Jody
All
Barr,
right.
thank you.
Much more to come throughout the night, Jody. Thank you very much.